Hello, I'm Sara Scott, and welcome to LUTV Sports Break, where we will discuss interesting sports topics with our panel of sports reporters. Former 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick is back in the news. Protesters and supporters stood outside of a workout field waiting on the arrival of Colin Kaepernick. The QB was scheduled to work out in front of several NFL scouts. Instead, Kaepernick decided to reject the offer and hold another workout at a different location. Panel, has Kaepernick ruined his chance at a comeback, or will a team take a leap to sign him?
I do believe he's ruined his chances at being re-signed. We went through this whole little, whatever you want to call it, of him saying he deserved a shot, that he was looked over, he was being blackballed by the league. And then the chance finally arrives, which it could have been orchestrated, against him, against his favor. But it's just that this was the chance, and then you cancel the workout and held your own thing and still expect to get signed. It's not going to happen.
Exactly. I think if you really, really wanted to play football that bad, no matter where you were going to play, you were going to be given that chance. I would take that most definitely. I'm also surprised 8 teams even showed up.
Right.
With it being less than an hour notice of change of location, that really surprised me.
Right now, I want to say that I'm going to have to disagree with them, as I always do, it seems like. But I have to go and saying, Colin Kaepernick, I am proud of what you have done. Even if you don't get another chance, I think you did a great job by controlling the narrative, and that stop letting these guys control your life, because they've obviously controlled it for the last 3 years. So that's what I disagree with. I feel like a team should give him a shot. There's a lot of quarterbacks right now that are not better than Colin Kaepernick whatsoever. You can say that they can say that he's probably don't have the talent, but they know that's bull jive. And I'm proud of him for controlling the narrative. Like, stop letting these guys control the narrative. In the NBA, these guys are starting to pretty much take over the league and stop letting the owners do what they want to do. They go where they want to go. And Kaepernick did something, and he felt that it wasn't, like he's saying, it probably wouldn't have been on his side. But he was like, nah, I'm going to control the narrative, and I'm very proud of him for doing that, whether it costs him or not.
But you brought up this also happens in the NBA and all that, but I feel like it flows better in the NBA. I don't know why that is, why this is such a big deal in the NFL, and why him trying to get another chance and him doing the protests and everything was such a huge deal, because you do that in the NBA and it just seems like it's a different beast over there than it is for the NFL.
Well, first off, the NBA is a way more personal game. There's 5 people on the court at one time. You're a lot closer up. You see their faces. So you get more of that side of it. But here's my take on it. First of all, let's say that you went to a job interview, right? Job interview, not going to come to your house. Job interviews, not going to do all this extra stuff to make sure that you get the job and you get hired. This was his tryout. This was his job interview. And he called all the shots on it as much as he could. I will back him 110% about what he stands for, but this was your shot. And you took control, yes, but you did too much, because the NFL is in control here. Maybe that's not a good thing. Maybe it's a bad thing, But the thing is, this was your job interview, and the fact that you couldn't show up to your job interview and you couldn't do one thing that they asked, even though they have never done this before in the history of the NFL, not one time. They were doing all this stuff for you, and you didn't even show up to your job interview. What does that say about you? I
still stand on what he did. I mean, I can understand what you guys saying. Y'all making very valid points, but I feel like he knows. Like, okay, I feel like they're giving me this chance so they can say, "Oh, they gave me a shot finally."
Yeah,
nah,
it was fake. Don't get me
wrong.
Yeah,
I feel like he's been out on the couch watching the NFL for 3 years. He's tired of going by their rules, and I like I said, I feel like every player should follow this wave. Like they've been saying, they feel like they're slaves, and LeBron said it in his shop interview. Like, those guys get treated like they're slaves. It's time he just really took another stand on top of the stand he's been doing. And I know they're gonna hate him for that. He's probably, like I said, he's probably not gonna get another chance. But I think that's something he can live with for the rest of his life, knowing that I'm tired of letting these guys control the narrative. And I like I said, I stand behind what he did too. You can, I'm saying, I'm not really disagreeing technically what you're saying, but it was like, nah, he knows his talent, he knows his worth, and he's tired of those guys.
As an activist, I stand behind him. As an athlete, I don't. Because when you're an athlete, you're not the boss.
True.
Whether you're in the NBA, the NFL, whatever league, you're not the boss. There are people that are put into place that are your bosses, and every job has bosses.
Do you think this sheds a bad light on what he was standing for, though?
No.
Definitely.
No, absolutely not.
I want to piggyback off of what Arthur said. And the reason why the NBA the way it is because it's a more expressive league, and I agree with that side of the fact because
Adam Silver lets them do that.
Whether you're the owner of a team, these are the guys that make you money. I'm coming to see LeBron play. I'm coming to see Kaepernick play. So should the NFL take a more expressive standpoint to allow their players to have this freedom?
Absolutely.
Without a doubt. And what I can't wrap my head around is that he kneeled for injustices against minority and everyone, police brutality, all these things. And can we honestly say, has the NFL made a change? What have they done in the public to at least show people that, hey, we're trying to tackle these issues? So at that point, I couldn't understand why he still would want to go back to the league if they're not making a change.
My thing with that is the players didn't care. They were like, okay, you can do that. You can support what you support. I'm still going to stand, put my hand over my heart because that's what I believe. But I'm not going to stop you from feeling how you feel about police brutality and everything that they think the flag and the national anthem stands for. And I think if the players don't care and the players can still play alongside them, I don't get why owners and things like that are trying to control that.
And that's why I strongly believe that he controlled the narrative. Like, they took this man out the league purposely because he used his platform to bring light to the subject. And they took him out the league. The NFL is not, they don't care about people like me and you, Dick. They really don't. And I sound bad about it because I am very much frustrated about this. And I'm proud, like I said, I am very proud of this man for finally doing this. I've been waiting for years for this man to get another shot. I'm not even really a fan, but I'm a fan of what he's done.
Right.
People like Brian will say something, but they're not gonna do that to Brian. My bad for comparing. But Kaepernick used his platform and to bring light to this, and they played the man and they kicked him out the league, and he still's been talking about Nike kind of stood back, but they probably did that just to do that, just to get that name talked about. But like I said, he did this, and you saying that the players, Eric Reed is kind of wishy-washy to me about how the way he does things. Yeah. But Colin Kaepernick stood for what he believed in, and then he felt like they were going to do something again to jeopardize and waste his time. So he did something on his own terms, and that man, he's going to be in history books, in my opinion.
So because of that, I need to ask, do you think that he had intentions of playing from this, or do you think that this was just another protest?
No, I think he wants to play, but he just wanted to control the narrative. He's just tired of that stuff.
But do you really think that he honestly thought that he would be able to play if he controlled the narrative on this? Because there's got to be a point, to where they're like, okay, yeah, you're right. I look like the NFL's like, okay, we're looking pretty bad with this. But do you really thought he would be able to play after doing all this stuff?
I think he knows he probably doesn't, but at the same time, he's like, hey, I can live with that for the rest of my life.
I think for an athlete, you're always going to want to play.
Well, I mean, I know that he wants to, but do you think that he really thought that because of doing all this stuff that the NFL was going to be like, okay, we'll give you a shot?
They don't like when people are over them. And so one day they're going to have to realize that players play. And they're going to they're going to take out the league over the league.
Right. So. Well, thank you, panel, and thank you for tuning into LUTV Sports Break. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter for more Lamar University sports. We'll see you next time.